Beta here, and this is a recent match I played on Redshire in my IS-8. So as you can see, our team composition is mostly heavies and TDs, whereas the enemy team is kind of a better blend of TDs, mediums, and heavies. So right now I'm just moving into position on the 0 line. That's typically where most of the enemy's heavies will go, and as a top tier heavy, I feel it's my responsibility to meet them head on. So there are 4 tanks moving in this direction: the IS, the T-29, and the T-26E4. It's sort of interesting because the IS and the T-29 are, while they are heavies, they're tier 7 heavies. So really was not feeling all that comfortable with our group over here. If the main thrust of the enemy team had come through here, we would have been obliterated fairly quickly. We did have some TDs supporting us along the K line theoretically, but again, it depends on how fast they could have pushed. As it turns out though, the enemy decides to not push down the 0 line really at all. They leave it basically wide open, as you'll see in a second here, and decide to focus most of their energies on the 1 and 3 line. So right now I'm just kind of wondering where the heck the enemy team is. It's kind of weird that no one's popped over. There's no spots. We don't see where they are. So I decided to push over to this rock. Just kind of nose out a little bit to see if there's anyone there. Still nothing. So we're wondering if they've set up a couple TDs maybe along the in the B8 area to hammer us as we move down. The T-26 gets brave enough to push forward, and I move out to provide covering fire. Lo and behold, a VK appears. I get a good shot into him and decide that since no one else was spotted, I'll move up to support the T-26 and get around the flank of that VK. So just moving into position here, getting around the rock, get a nice flank shot, back off quickly, and our T-29 finishes him off. So we've now cleared this entire flank. There was only one tank here. So now we can use the hill in front of us to basically pour fire into the enemy team. So actually make a misplay here, and I'll make several during this match. I move around the side of this hill and put myself in a position where I've got nowhere to go, no cover. I'm sort of just sitting around in the open trying to figure out what tanks I can fire on. This is a really bad position for me to be in. I've got nothing on that Roomba. I'm just sitting here, waiting, doing nothing. Oh, there's a T-44. Oh, he's disappeared. I fire blind. But again, I'm just sitting here and get ammo racked by that Roomba. It's a really bad position to be in. So I decide to quickly flee and work with the T-26 over here. Now he's going to push forward and light up the enemy team. And I'm going to get on top of this hill, use the foliage as much as I can, and shoot any of the enemies that he lights up. So that was a T-44 I shot earlier. I get another good shot into him. I decide to back off. Fortunately, I didn't back off long enough. So I'm not sure if my shot missed there, but anyways, an ally killed him. That's good enough. So this 110 now. I think he gets hit by 3 guys all at once, down to 3% health. Not looking too good for him. I fire blind, hoping to get the kill there. I don't. So one shot comes in, it deflects. I eat another shot, decide to quickly back off. But oh, there's a Wheezy there. I decided to get a shot in on him, which is a big mistake, because I eat another shot. So really, there was just 3 shots that hit me there, 2 of which penetrated, 1 deflected. So I decided to back off, realize the mistake I've made, which is every time I fire, I really should be backing off, letting things cool down, letting my camo reset itself, and moving into a slightly different position. So if they were zoomed in on my previous position, when I fire and appear, they will have to adjust. So now moving into back up to the hill, my camo rating has reestablished itself. Trying to use this foliage if possible. Nothing's appearing. I don't want to have my gun sitting idle for too long. Hoping something will appear. There we go. The Roomba. Get a good shot into him. Back off. Let things cool down. Let me reload. And I'm going to move into a slightly different position. So I'm way out in the open there. Mind you, the enemy teams are mostly on the other side of that hill, but I've got nothing to shoot at. So after having seen that T-29, that IS sort of push forward around the hill, I decide I'll go and support them and see if there's any other enemies that present themselves at this new angle. So there's a J Panther, fire, does not penetrate, and I quickly back off. And my armor deflects an incoming shot. There's really no targets available for me at that new position, so I'm going to move back around the hill to my original position. Things will have cooled down. The enemy won't necessarily be thinking that I'll be going back there, as they just saw me sort of in a more northern position. So again, just always wanting to have my gun firing, so I'm just constantly looking for different angles to shoot the enemy. There's that Roomba again. Now his camo rating reestablishes itself before my shot would have hit him. So while I did hit him, it won't show up on my hit list. So again, just constantly moving around, trying to find new angles, and the Chai represents himself, and I obliterate him. Now it's a bit of a turkey shoot. The IS is available for me. I move over the hill. Oh, he disappears. Deflect a shot, and get a great shot into that IS, leaving him on 5% health. There's really no one left for me to shoot at here. So I decide I'm going to push up, provide support to that T-25 AT, and start working around the base of that hill in front of me. This is where things get a little screwy on me. I'm going to push up here, get into a safe position on the backside of this hill, and the Wheezy decides to YOLO. So it showed that it hit the Wheezy, did no damage, and didn't track him. That was kind of a weird situation. And he gets behind sort of that little hill there, and I've got no effective fire that I can put into him. So he pops out, and I made a terrible mistake there. I thought I was auto-aimed and just fired, but because I've got the national voices, I guess I wasn't paying attention or couldn't understand what was happening. So I was not auto-aimed at all. Waste of a shot there. So I'm only on 126 health at this point. But that Wheezy's going to have a tough time penetrating me. He's got a faster reload. He pops out. My side armor absorbs his shot. No damage for me. I guess he actually tracked me. I destroyed him. The J Panther was killed. Game over. So it doesn't show on my hit list, but I actually ended up getting 4.7k total damage in this game. And over 1,400 deflected. So overall, pretty good game. Kind of sloppy near the end there. But it was pretty interesting work of that hill and using the ally spots to my advantage. Thanks for watching.